Hi guys! Welcome back to my vlog, and it's been a while since I have recorded another video, so here it is. So finally I find time. I was at the park yesterday enjoying myself and just capturing pictures and enjoying the beauty of nature, and there were plenty of beautiful roses like this, which inspired me, of course, to paint. It will be I'm gonna paint 3 roses, and I will make them in such a way that their orientation is different. One is facing the left side, and the next one will be facing in front of us, and then the next one would be facing the right side. So if when we experiment on how we paint our roses, this adds more value and more makes our painting more interesting actually. So in this kind of flower paintings, I really like to change their orientation, and this is how I normally start my florals. I just go ahead and just dab a few colors here and there, and then I add some water to it, and I'm actually using again two bottles of water. Well, the other one is not actually a bottle, but it's a rectangular container, and it just holds so much water, so I just use that one for cleaning my brush, and the other one would be my clean water. So here again using my Winsor & Newton paint, and I really like these watercolors. They're very transparent, and I would say forgiving because they lift up easily, and I could create soft roses using these kind of paints. And for my paper, I just like to share that I actually discovered this paper called Buckford Watercolor Paper 300 GSM, and they're quite amazing, and I have to say the most forgiving paper I've encountered. And for some reason I have started liking them better than I like my Arches paper. Maybe for painting flowers, for painting florals, these kind of paper really works well. And here I'm just painting my second flower. So this one, the orientation of this flower is more likely facing towards the viewer. So this is it, and just experimenting with my brush strokes here, and at the same time I was trying to remember and capture in my memory how beautiful that day was yesterday. It was, sunny, and how the flowers were dancing in the wind, and as I was painting, all of these things were in my mind, and you really enter into that process wherein you just get lost in your artwork, and when you enter into that zone, you just enjoy yourself, and you find that as you go into the process of painting, you also learn more about yourself in the process. It's a very relaxing, and I would say a very enhancing experience, because it does feel like it's an achievement no matter how your painting is going to turn out. So that's how I see it. So we're not really achieving perfection here, and we're just going to practice. And at this stage, we now have 3 loose roses, and I'm just adding the highlights, and this is just actually a reddish orange highlight, and I added a bit of brown just to make it darker. So here I just emphasize the center of our rose, because that gives the rose a good value and a sense of depth. So that's how it is. I mean, that was quite simple, right? So once we add our greens later on, then these roses are going to pop out really nicely. And yes, I just add more reds to highlight the petals, because again, once the watercolor dries, it does dry up lighter, and so we lose some of the values, and we have to go back again and apply some more paint. So that's how it is. We build up our layers, we build up our colors, and we see it once it dries, because when it's wet, it's kind of different. So that's the thing about watercolor, and that's what we need to learn. So we only learn that by practicing more, because we get to feel how the water actually reacts to the pigment, and how the water and the pigment together, how they look like when they dry. So my favorite stage is adding the leaves. Look at that, it just gives our roses a pop of color. So I have to admit that lately I have been painting a lot of roses, and if you could see the previous roses painting that I have done in the past in this channel, it was different, and I could actually see the improvement in myself. And yes, that is the main reason why I'm actually making this vlog. I wanted to document my art journey, and so far I find that the more I practice, yes, we do get better by practice, and it's quite encouraging to see from my first video ever that I made, and the kind of florals that I'm making now. So it's quite an improvement, and I have to say that I'm quite happy about that, and I did work hard to actually achieve this kind of florals that I'm making now. And also I learned a lot by watching other tutorials and how other people make it, and by that I also practice, and I have been actually sleeping lately because I have just been painting a lot of roses, and I thought for some time it has become my obsession, and I have been posting them on Instagram, on social media, so all my family and friends see them. And when I started this channel, I didn't have an Instagram account back then, and then along the way I realized that Instagram is also a very good platform to meet other artists and other people who share the same interests. So I started opening one, and I have been posting my daily artwork there, because sometimes I cannot really make a video, and sometimes it's way faster to just snap a picture and post it on Instagram. And there I have met various people from different parts of the world, and it's quite interesting and also encouraging to see other people's artwork. And you also learn from other artists how They have their own techniques, and you can naturally incorporate it with your own. And that's just how it is, because we always learn from not only from ourselves, but the best kind of learning is actually when you learn from other people and try to practice and also incorporate it with your own technique, so with your own style. And later on you'll also find your own style. So like in my case, when I was starting to paint flowers, my florals weren't that good, I must say. They were different, and I could tell that the improvement was massive when I started to paint every single day. So upon waking up and before I start my day, I find time to just be with my art and do a small painting or a sketch. And then before I start my day, I just take a photo of it and then post it on Instagram, because for me it's just my way of documentation. Like the same way I document my art journey here in this YouTube channel that I have. And yes, so if you're watching this, thank you so much, because you have actually stayed this far and you have tuned in and watched me painting, and at the same time you've stayed and listened to me. And I just like to change topic and say that actually I could have done this setup better now that I'm seeing the video, because this palette on my right side, I'm not really using it. I could have actually removed it, because this palette from Winsor & Newton, this is removable, so that next time you could actually see the actual palette on the left, which I'm actually using to mix my colors with. So again, that's another learning I have there for myself. And yeah, thank you once again for watching this video, and I hope that you've also learned something out from my learning. And I'm just gonna let you watch the rest of the video, and hopefully if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and comment for me, and it will really help me improve my paintings. And at the same time, if you feel like, please subscribe to my channel. And once again, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to paint today, and I enjoyed this. And yes, see you again next time. Bye for now.